Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
How are you this Wednesday? You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. You can find out more with adrianflux.co.uk. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast back at 6 o'clock this morning with Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbon-Lahore. But coming up now over the next hour, here's Nick Ellerby with all the details.
Yeah, morning, Shebahn. Isak, that saga rumbles on. He says he won't play for Newcastle.
Yawn.
Seriously, Newcastle fans, how are you feeling? Let's make up some ways to punish Isak. Maybe, he was banned from that barbecue. Could he cook the next one? We bring you all the transfer latest. Liverpool stepping up their interest in Mark Gay. Football is back, so is the Cup. We've got the Carabao results from last night on the way. Plus, we're building up to that Super Cup final tonight. Chance for Thomas Frank to get some silverware. He's laid down the law. That's live on talkSPORT. We'll also have the front and back pages as well.
Wonderful. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Oh, the Isak stuff, when that news broke yesterday, I was like, really? Really, Nick's right. Let's come up with some fun ways to punish Isak, because the club aren't even going to fine him. They're like, we're not going to fine him. It's fine. We'll try and get rid of you some way. You've been total brat.
Simon Jordan was pretty strong on this, as he always is on everything, but I quite liked his comment that, maybe Newcastle could take a leaf out of Evangelos Marinakis' book. We're going to hear a bit of a clip
just
of that
ban him
later.
and stuff?
Well, just sort of lay down the law and say, you're contracted until 2028, Sonny Jim. You're playing for me. Maybe we'll talk about it next summer, but this season, get your house in order. We're talking about house.
Rightmove, he's doing that.
Back on Rightmove, anyway. Hope this works out before the season kicks.
Yeah, what a mess. I don't know. Maybe like extra runs or something like that. Then again, I don't know. He'd probably just go, nah, I'm not doing it.
He likes running.
He
wants to do something he doesn't like to do.
It's really quickly changed my opinion of him.
Has it?
Because he was, for me, just an absolute superstar. And now I'm a bit like, oh, you're a good player. I just don't like you.
Really?
And I don't want to see you play anymore.
The thing is, the flip side of it is, Newcastle are an amazing club and, they're building. But if you're thinking, like, could I make that move to Liverpool and challenge for the Champions League, really probably favourites for the title, I think you can't you can't blame him for wanting to do that. It looks bad.
You're in a contract, though.
Well,
you signed it, pal.
Yeah.
You wanted the best contract for you. You got it. Now you don't like it. That's my only problem with footballers and contracts. I get that it's not healthy for the club, for the fans, for him to be there. Let's try and get him out. But you signed that contract. You made sure it was watertight for you, and now you want out of it.
Well, if this Lassana Diarra battle with FIFA comes to a head, we might see in the near future players just buying themselves out of their own contracts. So, this might be a thing of the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, that's one of our top stories today. Nick is going to have more details of the papers very, very soon, but Isak is all over the back of them. After this news yesterday, he said that he will no longer desire to play for Newcastle at all. Army slot his back page of The Sun today. 35 million Gehi set to join Kopp's ranks. Deserter Isak quits at Newcastle home. Nick mentioned there. We believe his home is now available on Rightmove. So if you have, I think, $6,500 a month for rent, there you go. There's a place available in Newcastle. Back page of the Times. Liverpool in talks to sign 35 million Gehi. That's mad. Spurs went in for him for something like 65 million in January. Now it's down to 35. It's crazy. Jack Grealish making all the headlines as well in his Everton shirt. My goodness, he looks good in an Everton shirt, doesn't he? Grealish takes Rooney's number. He's gone for the number 18. The players who he idolised growing up. He's now wearing that shirt number for Everton. Isak steps up Liverpool push is the headline in the Daily Telegraph. And Reds go for Gehi is making the back page of the Daily Mail. More news coming up from the papers very, very soon. But the transfer saga of the summer, I mean, there's usually always one that's rumbling on and rumbling on. This one, after yesterday, I'm well and truly over. Will Alexander Isak get his move away from Newcastle? The striker is reportedly refusing to play for the club again, and his house is now appeared on Rightmove. The Times are reporting Isak's house was put on the rental market the day after he was told not to attend the barbecue for Newcastle players and their families, a bonding day that he was asked not to attend. I'd say rightly so if you don't want to be there. On breakfast yesterday, Gabby Agbonlahor could not believe that the player would refuse to play for the club where he made his name.
Wow.
I mean...
Wow. Who does he think he is, by the way?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
Listen, I can have banter with Newcastle, but like, who do you think you are, mate?
Correct, mate.
Who do you think you are? Disgusting. What that club's done for you.
And by the way, have a think about
Jesus.
this. Have a think about this. If you're Liverpool, or you're Liverpool fans, is that the kind of person you want to be signing?
Real Madrid won him in 2 years when he's 27. He'll do the same to you.
Of course you will.
Wow.
Of course you will.
Ali, and the fact that Newcastle missed out on Shesko, they've got every right to say, listen, you're going nowhere. We've lost Callum Wilson. We can't get Wisher over the line yet as well. We're not going into the season. They've got Villa on Saturday. Who does this guy think he is? Like, you've had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Settle down a bit, mate. If it doesn't suit the club, shut up. Get your boots on. Big season for Newcastle. Want to start the season, well, Villa away, tough game. And now you're saying you're adamant you don't want to play. Like, what?
That's unbelievable.
Wow, that's wound me up.
Yeah, you could tell Gabby was proper rattled by that news yesterday. He's back alongside Jeff Stelling at 6 o'clock this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast. As we say, Isak's still contracted to play for the club until 2028. Liverpool had made a £110 million bid offer and say they won't bid again until they think a deal could be done. He's valued at £150 million by Newcastle. On Drive yesterday, Darren Bent was a bit more sympathetic towards Isak.
Let's be kind of honest about it. The way he's kind of conducting himself, certainly packing his own bags and packing the house and saying he's never going to play, this is disgusting. I don't condone that one bit, right? But there is a bit of a difference between going from Newcastle to Liverpool. Like, there's a considerable jump there in terms of size of the club. Obviously, the best team in the league last year, they're going to be going for honours and stuff. So I understand that the next move to Real Madrid, okay, that's a different question. But in wanting to move from Newcastle to Liverpool, I can fully understand that. The way he's gone about it, it's going to be tough.
There's ways of presenting yourself, and I know exactly we've not heard from the horse's mouth himself and Alexander Isak. I'm not sure he's been given the right advice from his agents or his representatives along the way either. But there are just ways of showing yourself as a true somebody who just really appreciates what they've got in this life. And I just don't think Isak's shown himself to be that guy at all. it's petulant, I think, his behaviour, to be honest. And as I mentioned earlier on, he's kind of turned me off a wee bit. I'm a bit like, yes, you're a wonderful footballer. I don't know, but behaving like that, you deserve another opportunity. And Benty's right. He's doing what he wants to do for the right thing for his career, but he didn't have a hard time at Newcastle. He was welcomed in by a fan base that absolutely adored him, a manager that appreciated him. He played the way he wanted to play, and let's not take away from him. He's a wonderful football player, but he's certainly changed, I think, the opinion by a lot of this fan base and a lot of football fans, I would say, all over the world by behaving like this. I think players who do that, I mean, Gyökeres was doing it as well. He was saying, I'm not playing for sport and I'm not going to do it anymore. I'll go on strike to force his way through to Arsenal. And at the end of the day, I'm sure Arsenal fans are absolutely happy that he's at the club, and let's hope that he hits the ground running. And I'm sure the same will happen for Isak if he does get out of Newcastle. But either way, it's just an ugly look whilst we're in amongst it at the minute. We had a very, very strong call on talkSPORT Breakfast yesterday. Sean, the Newcastle fan, accuses Isak of spitting on the fans with this behaviour.
I think it's Liverpool. I think they geared up. The one thing I was a little bit worried, Liverpool fans, if they are listening, is that defensively, they've looked all over the shop. I've seen Palace, Wembley, their one ball split the whole defence, and they've leaked goals all pre-season. Whether they tighten that up, I don't know. But I think it's Liverpool's to lose with the business they've done early on in the transfer window. And I think City will have a better season than they did last season, and Arsenal will be perennial runners-up again.
Oh, that was not the call we were looking for there. But listen, Newcastle fans, the floor is yours. You're probably done to the death of this as well. But how disappointed are you when you heard this yesterday that he no longer wanted to play for the club? He doesn't see a way back. How disappointed were you? You must feel betrayed by the whole situation. The number is 03717 223344. Let's feel free to have some therapy about this situation with Alexander Isak, 81089, if you would rather send a text message. By the way, we were talking about Liverpool. We heard from Mickey Quinn there in that clip. He thinks Liverpool should have enough to win the league again. He said he worries about their defence. And on the subject of Liverpool's defence there, in the papers today, exploring talks with Crystal Palace over Mark Guéhi for 35 million. Palace value Guéhi at £40 million. Liverpool also chasing 18-year-old Italian centre-back Giovanni Leone, who currently plays at Parma. So they're absolutely going for it, aren't they, Liverpool? How can Guéhi be 35 to 40 million? He was 70 million in January for Spurs. Crazy times. Speaking of Spurs, Thomas Frank spoke to the press yesterday because it's the Super Cup tonight, of course, against Paris Saint-Germain, and he announced that he's left Yves Bissouma out of the Super Cup final squad to play PSG tonight. In the pre-match presser, he told us his reasons why.
He's been late several times, and now this time, the latest time was just one too many. I think with everything, you need to give your players a lot of love, also have demands, and there also need to be consequences. And this time there was a consequence for that.
Silly boy, silly boy. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all end up late at some point, but if he's been repeatedly late, it's just not a good look. Again, shows sometimes you think you're big enough and you can do what you want, turn up late whenever. I actually saw James Maddison put on his TikTok the other day, Bissouma in the dressing room, and he's dancing around and he looks like a good character to be around. He looks like he's got a good energy, but take yourself back to this time last season, he was left out of the opening game, wasn't he, for Ange Postecoglou because of the video of him and the laughing gas, reportedly laughing gas. So just don't be an idiot. You've got a great life. You're a footballer. You're minted. A lot of people would kill for that. Just stop being idiots, guys. Come on. League Two sides did some damage in the Carabao Cup as well last night. If you missed this, we had all the goals as they went in live here on talkSPORT.
All the drama of the Carabao Cup live on talkSPORT.
Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 4. Grant McCann made 11 changes tonight, and Doncaster have absolutely outplayed Middlesbrough. Rob Edwards has got big problems here.
Yeah, looks like it's game over here. Wrexham 1, Hull City 3.
And it's the League One side who go through. Portsmouth 1, Reading 2.
Finish Plymouth 3, QPR 2. League One Pilgrims have their first win of the season.
They do get a crossover. Goal! It's a goal! And it's Ollie Palmer again! Would you believe it? From 3-1 down, Wrexham have pulled it round.
The Stoke City goalkeeper who steps up and he actually wins it for Stoke City.
Jack Marriott then from 12 yards against Phillips. And as you can tell, he drills it into the corner. Wrexham win the shootout 5-3 and they're into round 2.
Here's Colin Grant. It's saved, pushed onto the post. and Derby somehow have got themselves through to the second round of the League Cup.
It's Marcus Eiffel to send Bromley through. The cheer tells its own story. It is the biggest win in the club's history. It's finished 1-1 and 5-4 to Bromley on penalties.
You've got to love the Carabao Cup. You are guaranteed drama.
Yeah, indeed. Quite a few of the League Two teams put away championship opposition last night in the League Cup. It was the first round, of course. Doncaster hammered Middlesbrough 4-0 at the Riverside. Oof, shocker. Bradford got a 2-1 win at Blackburn. Reading beat Portsmouth 2-1 at Fratton Park. And as you heard there, Kieran McKenna's Ipswich were beaten 5-4 on penalties by Bromley. We had Andy Woodman, didn't we, on breakfast yesterday. He was on the sports bar last night. Delighted with his side's run last night. We're talking about Alexander Isak. Newcastle fans, how betrayed are you by your player? 03717 22 3344. Liverpool fans, do you want a player like this? We'll take your calls next on Early Breakfast on talkSPORT. A very good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. This is Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Isak's behaviour pushing for that move to Liverpool is disappointing a lot of Newcastle fans. Unsurprisingly, a lot of you on the text today. Jeff Stelling will have his say on that subject at 6 o'clock this morning. He's back on talkSPORT Breakfast alongside Gabby Agbonlahor. If you're heading out and about, if you've got plans, download the talkSPORT app. You can take us anywhere you're going today. And if you're at home and you've got a smart TV or you've got YouTube available, then you can watch the whole stream from the studio live on talkSPORT. Some of your other headlines today: Liam Livingstone scored 69 runs from 27 balls to take Birmingham Phoenix to a 4-wicket win against Oval Invincibles in the 100 cricket. They chased down a target of 181 to take their first victory of the competition. Southern Brave can go top of the table with a win against Northern Superchargers today, while Welsh Fire host at Manchester Originals. Rangers manager Russell Martin criticised his sloppy team despite them reaching the Champions League playoff round. They lost 2-1 in the second leg of their qualifier against Victoria Pilsen, but progressed 4-2 on aggregate. They'll play Club Brugge for a place in the league phase of the competition after the Belgian side got past Salzburg 4-2 on aggregate. And Everton have completed the signing of Jack the Lad Grealish on loan from Manchester City until the end of the season. So he's going to wear the number 18 shirt on Merseyside, and Grealish told Everton TV why he's made that choice.
My two favourite players, English players ever, is Wayne Rooney and Paul Gascoigne. So I've always known that when they played here, you know, they both wore number 18. So yeah, as soon as I knew this deal was close, I had a look and number 18 was free, which was perfect.
There you go. That's why he selected the number 18 shirt. Good luck to Jack Grealish. I'm very much so looking forward to Monday night football. Leeds against Everton, 8 o'clock. Jack Grealish in action for the Toffees. That'll be interesting to see. Good for the league as well, I think. David Moyes also said he wants to help Grealish get back into the England squad. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say on this Isak saga this morning that's hella rumbled on. We've got Jimmy, the Liverpool fan, with us now. Morning, Jimmy. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks, Jimmy. Thanks very much for taking the time to call up. Are you heading to work? Are you on the night shift?
I'm heading into work, yeah.
Where do you work?
I'm on the road. I'm a HGV driver.
Oh, fair play. All right, well, be careful on the roads today. Jimmy, what's your thoughts then on Isak? I mean, obviously he wants to play at Liverpool. Obviously it's a fantastic club and the current champions. But what do you think of a player who turns their back on a fan base like Newcastle and on his club like that?
Well, I know there's got to be two sides to this story. Is that?
Yeah.
I said 2 weeks ago we should have moved on, if not longer, more than 2 weeks ago. 150 million, what Newcastle wants. For me, there's other areas of the pitch that we need to improve. I know we're addressing the centre-back positions. We haven't replaced Diaz. I think we need an out-and-out left winger and a backup striker to Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
Why hasn't Isak put a transfer request in?
Well, this is it.
You know, the simple answer is he wants, if he forces a move, he wants a piece of that pie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I get Newcastle's position. They haven't been able to get reinforcement in, or they might have let him go. I understand that, but I think there's more to this story than it being a little bit. It feels a little bit one-sided towards the player. And you hear a little story from Newcastle. He was promised this, he was promised that, blah blah blah. I think there is more to the story. But if they haven't been able to get reinforcements in, right? But Newcastle are in the right to say, well, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I besides his conduct, I said 2-3 weeks ago we should have moved on. And the problem is, and I'll just finish on this, the striker market is very, very limited, right? And they regard them as the best in the world simply because it's very limited market. It's like me saying, right, I'm the best HGV driver in the world in Europe.
You are, Jimmy. You are.
Right. When I regard myself as the best HGV driver in Europe, when there's only 10 of us on the road. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, you make sense.
It's a very, very limited market. I don't think he's the best in the world, by the way.
He's so good.
If you look at
and he's Premier League proven, you know, Jimmy. That's the thing. He's Premier League proven. He can bang in the goals. He's kind of complete all in all. Jimmy, drive safely today. Thank you so much for your call. 03717 223344. Nick is coming through in a second for a look at today's back pages. By the way, another transfer we've all got our eyes on at the moment is where Gigi Donnarumma will end up from PSG. He's been left out of their squad to place Spurs in the Super Cup final tonight. Luis Enrique prefers the new signing Lucas Chevalier as their new number one. He's just won the quadruple. He said in an open letter to the fans, from the day I arrived, I gave everything on and off the pitch. And basically he's disappointed and disheartened that somebody wants to take this opportunity away from him. He's linked to Manchester City, we believe. Is that right, Nick Ellerby? Donnarumma?
We heard from Kev Hatchard that both Chelsea and Manchester United were possibly interested in Donnarumma, but L'Équipe reporting overnight, the French newspaper, that potentially a deal has already been agreed with Donnarumma and Manchester City. We'll wait to see how that one develops. I know we've got Ben Jacobs talking transfers on breakfast this morning. But interesting, L'Équipe also saying that Ederson might be off to Galatasaray, so that would leave Man City with Donnarumma and James Trafford fighting it out for the number one shirt.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good to know. I'm sure Man City fans would be happy to hear that. Donnarumma been at the club, like I say, James Trafford, he's doing very well at the moment.
He is. Confident young boy, but he'll have his work cut out, because Donnarumma is one of the best keepers in the world, Ballon d'Or nominated, Champions League winner.
Quad winner.
And he's massive.
Yes. Your height, Nick.
Always helps.
Yes. Quick look at today's back pages. What else is going on today?
Well, obviously, the story I'm sort of happiest about is Jack Grealish moving to Everton on loan. I'm a huge England fan. I think this is great. I think we want a happy Jack Grealish because he just provides something else that a lot of players, don't have the ability to provide for England. That creativity, that slightly maverick nature, and Jack talking about that himself as well. We'll get on to that in a sec. But back of the Guardian, Moyes offers Grealish a shot at revival in £12 million loan deal. In the Sun, Jack ever so happy. And then also in the back of the Mirror, I picked 18. This is Jack Grealish saying, I picked 18 blue to be like Rue. And we had that clip earlier in the show of him talking about his idols, Paul Gascoigne and Wayne Rooney. Interesting. He likes mercurial talents, but he also fan of players who like a drink. I think we can say that. And Jack, no stranger. I think players should be able to let off steam. But I think if you're being photographed in downing pints in working men's clubs, I think you just have to manage your social media profiles and everything else a little bit better. I love Jack, but I just hope that he just take a look at that, enjoy yourself, but make sure no one's taking photos of you while you're doing it. Best of luck to Jack, and I hope, for one, he'll be on the plane to the USA, Mexico and Canada next year. Very quickly, don't know if we've got time, but super fast. Michael Jordan, he is now big marlin fishing out in Maryland, Ocean City. There's this huge marlin fishing competition. Great story in the Times from Matt Lawton, who's out in Ocean City. That's a really interesting story. And then I really love this one. Jamal Mills, banned from using OnlyFans logo on his bat in the 100. The Sussex and England fast bowler will not be allowed to display the OnlyFans logo on his bat because the ECB aren't happy about promoting that site, which obviously has a lot of adult content on it. Jamal Mills' account, he's not doing any adult content. He's talking about bowling and behind the scenes life of his behind the scenes of his life as a cricketer.
He should just start a YouTube channel and then put everything there anyway. Because then you could probably do the, subscription. Yeah. Where, fans could pay £3 a month, whatever. He sets the limit and they can get that exclusive content and take out the OnlyFans element. I thought OnlyFans was just adult content.
Right.
I didn't know it was for whatever it is you're offering up to your fans. I thought it was adult content. So I think some youngsters might look and hear OnlyFans or whatever and think that is what that is. But honestly, I think, well, if he's putting up content that's got nothing sexualised, then let him crack on.
Of course, OnlyFans wasn't created for that, but on OnlyFans you can earn money straight away, whereas on YouTube you've got to build up those views.
Should get monetised pretty quickly, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Good luck to him, I say.
Oh, well, speaking of which, Nick Ellerby does have an OnlyFans account as well. It is for the adult content. You can sign up to that now. You can rake the money in.
Not giving the address of that out.
Coming up next on Early Breakfast, we'll be taking a look at tonight's Super Cup final. Good morning.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
How are you? It's hump day and it's going to be an absolute scorcher, baby. Even Glasgow's going to be hot today. I'm delighted for all you Glaswegians who get to fill up the wheelie bin with water and get your taps off. Oh, it's going to be a lovely day. This is Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. The cover you need at a price you'll love. With What's Fans and Shooter of the Year 2021, you can find out more. adrianflux.co.uk. We've been talking about the latest development in the Alexander Isak transfer saga. His house in Newcastle is being put up for sale. You can also rent it. I think it's $6,500. If you are looking in that area, Isak's house is available. It was said that the house went up on the market the day he was told not to attend the Newcastle bonding barbecue last week. We think a decent punishment for Isak in this situation where he's turned his back on his club and his fan base to force his way out of a club and a contract that he signed, by the way, is to attend the next barbecue and serve up the burgers. That's a nice little punishment for him. He'll probably say no thanks, as the striker ups the ante in an effort to force his way out of the door toward Liverpool. Simon Jordan, former Palace owner, says Newcastle need to take a page out of the Evangelos Marinakis book of management.
I would have said to Liverpool, and I would imagine it has to be had some conversation, you know, you will pay this price or you will go away. It's really simple. You're not going to agitate. You can do as much as you want. And you can do it in a fashion that you believe is befitting of a big football club, but you're not going to get in for less than this. And you, son, are not going for less than that. So if they don't meet that expectation, you will do as you're told, in the same way that Marinakis filled the void. Whatever you may think about the idea, or it's very simple, Simon, to say what you would and wouldn't do because you did it 20 years ago. Well, it's just been done by Marinakis.
What, Morgan Gibbs-White?
Because he made clear in the player's mind and the player's representation and the idea that people were being inappropriate in their conduct. I will set you guys on fire unless you play properly with me and my football club.
Maybe don't set anyone on fire. It's a bit far, okay? That's not the punishment we're going for. But Simon's right. Look, Simon Jordan's a businessman. Contracts are there because contracts are all part of business. You're there to adhere to the contract that you signed. And as I mentioned earlier on, footballers have the most beautiful contract. They get the best perks unless they want to force a move out of a club. They are in that contract because they signed it. They have a team of people who put that together to get the best thing possible for that player in their books. And Isak got that with Newcastle. And he was adored. He's absolutely loved by a fan base. He's been nothing but disappointing at the minute. And I know that there's two sides to the story. As our lovely caller Jimmy, the Liverpool fan, mentioned earlier on, there's always two sides to it. And we know that Isak wants to move to Liverpool. Of course, why wouldn't you want to join the current champions of the Premier League? Why wouldn't you? But he has signed to that club. You made your promise to that club when you inked it out. And there's not a lot of strikers to choose from in the world. And you are their striker. And they love you. Adhere to your contract unless things can go the proper way. That's life. And sometimes it's not fair. But it's not that bad for you, Alexander Isak. Don't forget, Simon Jordan is back on White and Jordan today from 10 o'clock here on talkSPORT. Former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy on the show with them today. A number of people, saying that perhaps maybe you wouldn't want Isak at your club at Liverpool, considering the way he's treated Newcastle. I wonder what the thoughts of Danny Murphy will be on that a little bit later on. 03717 223344. Sammy, the Manchester United fan, is with us now. Sammy, long time, buddy. How are you? You okay?
I'm good, Shebahn. Good morning. Pleasure speaking to you. Hope you're doing well.
Good, yeah. All very, very well, thanks. I mean, okay, Man United fan, but what's your thoughts of Alexander Isak, if you want to wade in?
Yeah, the neutral. I'm not trying to defend his behaviour. I think he's been unprofessional. But I just want to go back to the first pre-season when they were called after the summer break. They left him home because it was a niggle or something like that. And I think that's where it kind of goes wrong. If you let the players decide when to be left out or when to choose when to take part, I think that's when it's a bad example, but it's not maybe a good example. If you tell your child that you have to do your homework before you go out, and then one day you let them go out before they do their homework.
You make a good point.
They're going to try to push it. They're going to try to push it the next day.
Yeah,
it was a bad example, but
it makes sense, Sammy. It does. It makes sense. You'll push the limits wherever you can. Only thing is it all plays out so badly in the press, doesn't it? It's never a good look on the player.
It's not. He has to act professional. He has to act professional, and it's not looking good on a player. It's not looking good where he goes next. Will he do the same if the next club? If he goes to Liverpool in a couple of years, as Gabby was saying or Ali was saying, if the next club comes for him, will he do the same? Victor Yerker has done the same thing when he went to Arsenal. I'm sure he's appreciated by Arsenal fans, but he didn't leave on a good note to Sporting Lisbon. Back in the days, you didn't see that from players really much. You see, players have to respect their contracts, I think.
Yeah, and as somebody mentioned earlier on as well, he's not put in reportedly this transfer request yet. And Perry Groves, I'm sure, mentioned last night on the Sports Bar, if you put in a transfer request, you're almost bantered in the dressing room for that, to go to that level. Well, then if that's the level he has to go through, make that final. Don't say, I'm not playing for this club again, even if I'm still contracted here. I have no desire to play for the club, because it just really disappoints the fan base. Sammy, thank you very much for your call this morning.
Thank you.
Call us anytime, 03717 223344. By the way, just on the subject of what happened last night in the EFL Cup, League 2 side Bromley produced a huge upset in the first round, knocking out Championship club Ipswich out on penalties after the game finished 1-1. League 1 side Doncaster thrashed Middlesbrough 4-0, shocker Rooney. Well, there was also an upset at Ewood Park as Blackburn were beaten 2-1 by Bradford. Reading beat Portsmouth 2-1 and Wrexham got past Hull on penalties to progress to the next round. There are 5 more ties tonight, including Birmingham versus Sheffield United. We'll have all of the updates on talkSPORT and live on talkSPORT tonight. We've got the coverage of Leicester's trip to Huddersfield Town from 7:30 over on talkSPORT 2. Download the talkSPORT app. You can swipe across there to get all of our live football tonight. Here on talkSPORT, live coverage of PSG versus Spurs in the UEFA Super Cup final. 7 o'clock build up, kick off at 8. And it's competition time for you now, because the NFL returns to Wembley in October as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And our competition to win VIP tickets is now open. We give away some brilliant prizes over the summer. Now you've got the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium, full hospitality, and maybe the best bit, £5,000 at spending money. Here's how you can get involved. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and then you're automatically into the draw. Texts are £2 plus 1 standard network rate message, and you must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter the draw by calling this number 0 330 880 338. I'll give you another go of this. 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by the 25th of August at 11 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions apply. Visit talksport.com. Good luck, babies. Time for the front pages.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Nicholas.
Shebahn.
Because you're quite a serious guy, right? I mean this in the best of ways.
Yeah, I think I give that vibe off.
It's because you read the news. When you read the news, I'm like, oh, okay, don't mess, because they know their stuff.
Yeah, I've got something that people.
And then now you're looking at the Star, and I think we've changed them.
Listen, this is the Daily Star version of me.
Daily Star.
I've got a question for you. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes.
Tell me about it. When, where?
Very, very young. I was about 18, and I worked at the radio station in Glasgow, at Radio Clyde. And I was in one of the little dubbing booths, just reading, just trying to practice.
Yeah.
And I got a proper tap on the head, and there was like a gust of kind of, like, it sounds weird to say like a gust of air, but it was almost like a silhouette in this little dubbing booth. And it turns out Clyde is on the Clyde, next in Clydebank, where the Blitz happened.
Right.
So apparently there was a number of reports of kind of ghostly encounters in that building at the time, and had been for years gone by. And I kind of came running out, and the production guy was there, and I said to him, and he went, he told me all the story about the Blitz, and apparently the music library was haunted, and the music would turn on its own and all that kind of stuff.
You sure the production guy didn't just do a big fart?
He wasn't with me, I was alone.
Okay. Well, listen, this is a really interesting story. You're talking about gusts of wind. Ozzy Ghosts puts wind up Kelly. So Ozzy Osbourne, who sadly died recently, actually a hero of mine, played a final prank on daughter Kelly from beyond the grave at his funeral service. So the Metallica bass player Robert Trujillo said a gust of wind blew the lyric sheet away as Kelly sang a tribute to her father during the intimate service for him at his Buckingham estate. I mean, it is the kind of thing Ozzy would do.
I know. Oh gosh, apparently they say when it's somebody you love and you have an encounter, apparently it is a really like satisfying feeling. It either makes you smile or makes you feel like safe or comforted or something like that. My experience wasn't like this. Mine was a proper creepy one.
I saw a ghost ship once.
I thought you were going to say something else.
And as I try not to look at a 55-year-old Naomi Campbell in the Daily Star, I will quickly move on to, listen, fish and chips. If you go, what fish do you order with your fish and chips?
Just a nice battered fish.
Which fish?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, do you
not like cod or something in the chippy?
Well, usually the option is cod or haddock, right? Which do you go for?
Cod if it's available. I feel it breaks up nicely, but that's smothered in curry sauce, loads of salt, vinegar, a giant pickle, and maybe a battered sausage.
Mushy peas?
No.
No? Curry sauce? All right, so I've got some bad news for you. Fish and chips have had their chips. Climate hits food. Britain's facing a fish and chips crisis.
Oh gosh.
As our warmer seas drive out favourites like cod, climate change has sparked an influx of species not usually seen in UK waters, such as octopus, bluefin tuna, and stinger jellyfish. So it's going to be jellyfish and chips from now on.
Oh, lovely. Nick, you're still making me hungry. Thank you very much for listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's going to be a hot one today. Jellyfish at the ready. Get your Factor 50 on. Coming up next, we'll give you all of the latest in the movers and shakers in the transfer window and build up to the Super Cup final tonight. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. You're in for a good one today. It's Jeff Stelling and Gabby Arbon-Lahore on talkSPORT Breakfast in the next 10 minutes or so. A look at the transfers for you. We understand Newcastle are expected to make a formal offer to Aston Villa to sign Jacob Ramsey. Villa are open to selling their academy product in order to comply with UEFA financial fair play rules. Meanwhile, Ramsey is open to the move to Tyneside, having rejected interest from West Ham. Earlier on this window, in other news, Newcastle have completed a deal for Malik Twa? Is that his name? T.O. Nailed it. He's told Newcastle's website he's really excited to join this massive club. And Manchester City have reached an agreement on personal terms with Gianluigi Donnarumma, reports at French outlet L'Equipe. I've been saying this overnight. The report adds that the PSG goalkeeper has already spoken with Pep Guardiola. City are waiting for Ederson to leave for Galatasaray to make more concrete progress. Alex Crook, our transfer guru, an expert, will be on breakfast a little bit later on with all the latest from the transfer window. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say on breakfast this morning. There's been a lot of Isak chat. Let's park that for now because it's the Super Cup final tonight, PSG against Tottenham Hotspur. And pleased to say we've got Zach, the Spurs fan, on the phone with us now. Zach, you're heading to the airport. How are you?
Morning, Shebahn. Yeah, very good. Just arrived, actually. So I've parked up. I'm ready to speak to you and then check in and get out to sunny Italy.
It's going to be glorious, by the way. The weather looks absolutely stunning there at the moment. How are you feeling for this one tonight? I mean, if you win another trophy, no bad. You do have to count it when you're Spurs, don't you, Zach?
Listen, it's one of those trophies. If you lose it, it's a great day out. If you win it, Spurs are champions of Europe again. So really looking forward to tonight. Obviously, I watched the Bayern game and they sliced through us so easily. And I expect some weaknesses in defence, but, you know, we need a big show from the boys up front. You know, Johnson, you know, you never know what he can do at the back post.
Yep.
Solanke, he's a workhorse. I'm not going to rely on Richarlison, but he's nice to have there just for the laugh.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's going to be a challenge. But you never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
Final.
It could be more silverware. Who are you going with, Zach? Are you there with mates? Are you going on your own?
No, going out with mates. Max and Ricky are with me, and we're all going to meet some friends out there as well. So as soon as we land in Venice, we're hiring a car. We're driving an hour and a half to Udine. And then just going to soak up the atmosphere when we get there.
Can you do me a favour if you're in your car just now? Just roll down the window and shout, "Come on, you Spurs!"
Come on, you Spurs!
Just well done. That was absolutely magic. You've smashed it. Zach, have the best trip. Good luck to you, and hopefully we'll hear you later on in the week. A happy Spurs fan here on talkSPORT. We'll speak to you soon, Zach, the Spurs fan, heading out to the game tonight in Italy. By the way, on the subject of Spurs, James Maddison has given an update from his hospital not his hospital, he's in hospital, of course, following surgery on the ACL injury that he sustained. The attacking midfielder is expected to miss most of the season. God love him. He said it's the lowest of low I've ever had. He shared a picture on X surrounded by his 3 children. He says, "I'm heartbroken at the fact this injury has occurred at this time in my career with the Spurs Super Cup, the Premier League season on the horizon, the exciting Champions League campaign, and it being a World Cup year for England. It all feels so very cruel, but nevertheless, the ACL reconstruction surgery was successful. To all my close friends and family, your support and love means absolutely everything to me." Oh, what a shame. By the way, did I read somewhere that Spurs' wife, Jesus, somebody just get me in the bin. James Maddison's wife is expecting her second set of twins. That's crazy. I've had 1 set, never mind 2 sets of it. No thanks. Cheers. But fair play to him. He's a good guy, James Maddison. Wishing him all the very best. But he is missing this cracker tonight.
These are the maestros, the best teams, the champions. It's glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. They have won. The Europa League is theirs.
It's a monkey off their back. Does it build a winning culture?
And then Mayulu, and there is number 5. It's not just the win. but the first win and the biggest win the Champions League final has ever seen.
Paris Saint-Germain 5, Inter Milan sank.
I've been amazed by the way Paris Saint-Germain played that game. I think it's historical.
The team from Stamford Bridge have absolutely hammered Paris Saint-Germain.
This was an underlining that PSG are not perfect.
Coming to a big club, there's pressures. We need to perform. It's not about surviving one game or 1 year or 18 months.
Could have shoots this time, he's not going to miss. It's Coutinho on the counter-attack for PSG to his right-hand side for Doué. And that is that.
Live for you here on talkSPORT tonight. Spurs face their big first test under the new boss Thomas Frank. They've got PSG in the UEFA Cup final, Super Cup final tonight. Live in Udine, Spurs keeper Vicario says they've earned the right to be there and they want to build on the Europa League success.
Of course, we set the tone. Of course, we want ourselves to repeat, but now to do it again because we tasted the feeling and this feeling is amazing. So we want to do it again, and we have an opportunity tomorrow night again. Once we have a European final, and we are there because we earned the right to be here to play against PSG. And of course we want to do it, but you know, football and sports, it's all about winning and losing. So sometimes it's hard that you don't have, you know, you're not a magician and you don't. Sometimes you cannot find properly, you know, like the right recipe how to win. But it's up to us to believe in something, and we have to do it all together. We have to follow very strictly which are the instructions for the manager. We really believe in Thomas and in how we can improve all together as a team, as a collective. This is I think it can set a tone again if we want to be successful.
Vicario speaking to the press yesterday, a bit of a homecoming for him. That's where he was born. He started at Udine as well. Thomas Frank, if he were to win silverware tonight, he'd happily take that. PSG against Spurs is live on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock. Coming up next, talkSPORT Breakfast with Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. Bye, driver.